5 minutes, although in truth we only got about 17 minutes of action, but it's like a different place here today. Wonderful, wonderful setting here in Misano. We're just a couple of miles from the coast of the Adriatic, about an hour and a half south of Bologna. Wonderful place to be in spring in Italy, and a wonderful place to have a racetrack as well. There you can see we're just nestled in the towns and villages surrounding the beach and the coastline. So this Blancpain GT Sports Club for bronze-rated drivers to have a go in sprint racing. A lot of these guys are used to doing Pro-Am GT races or even Am Cup GT races in something like the Blancpain Endurance Series, but this gives them an opportunity to have sprint races all to themselves, and goodness me, has the take-up been strong. After a reasonable start last year to the championship, we'd see sort of 9 or 10 cars at every race. Now we've got a full grid of 27 cars that entered this weekend. We'll see how many have made it to the grid, because some have run into mechanical difficulties over the course of the weekend. It's 18 degrees now, the air temperature. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, just gone 11 o'clock. Track temperature is up to 36 degrees, so that is going to be a very different prospect for these drivers. Even in the dry qualifying session we had yesterday morning, it was nowhere near as hot as this. Here is a look at this 4.2 kilometer Misano circuit. 16 corners, and a circuit that is really challenging. A lot of different line variations to be taken around the course, and it's certainly one that is very entertaining for racing because it's nice and wide. There's plenty of overtaking opportunities around the circuit, as we saw in yesterday's frenetic race. We've got 3 minutes till the start of the formation lap. So there you can see the grid being formed. At the back of the grid there, you can see Peligioni, but at the front of the grid, you can see car number 22, Nicola Mislan, the man starting on pole position after he took pole position for the qualifying race, won the qualifying race after being quickest in free practice 1 and 2, but that man there, Pier Giuseppe Perezzini, is the man who is going to be hunting him down, starting in second place on the grid. Only finished 1.2 seconds behind Mislan yesterday in a fantastic battle for the lead. And they will be hoping, or at least Perezzini will be hoping, that he can continue to close in. Then on the second row of the grid, we've got Anthony Pons on the left-hand side. A great start from him yesterday, a good race. Mario Cordoni did start on the front row, but didn't like the slippery conditions. Will he perform better in the dry? Then we've got Jean-Michel Bart there on the left-hand side in the WRT Audi. He's going to be starting in 5th place on the grid alongside Pierre Hershey in that BMW Z4. The next row of the grid, we've got Maurice Ricci on the left-hand side in the ACA ASP Mercedes, alongside him Christian Hook in the Black Pearl Racing Ferrari. Then we've got the Lamborghini of Coach McKenzie on the left. Then we've got the Nicola van Dierendonck Corvette on the right-hand side. Next up, it's Gosselin in the Audi on the left, alongside him Steve Earle, the highest-placed driver, second highest placed driver in the Iron Cup. Then we've got the 65 car of De Bernardi alongside Jan Brunstedt, the Swede, in the Audi. Then another pair of Ferraris. It's Christian Ulrich and Martin Lanting who are the next men up. We're getting down towards the sort of 18th place now with Louis-Philippe Sonnen on the right-hand side behind Cassady on the left in that Lamborghini. Still more cars to come. We've got the Mercedes SLS of Wim de Pundert, and he's going to be starting alongside the 488 of Leon Price, of Patrick Van Klabbeke. Then we've got another Mercedes towards the back. That is being, that's Wim de Pundert and Leon Price on the next row. And you can hear the cars beginning to get their engines fired up ahead of this race that is about to get underway. 40 minutes. The formation lap will begin in just 10 seconds time now. Good to see Yoshiki Yamura is out there. He will start at the back of the grid alongside the 38 car, which is Wong Chongyao Runmei, who crashed on the way to the grid yesterday, and as a result didn't take part in the race, but he is out in this one, starting at the back. Expect him to try and carve his way through the order. So away goes the leading car, and then we just wait for the safety car, for the green flag to be waved, and the rest of the grid will pull away. Yesterday was started behind the safety car, so this will be our first rolling start of the season in the Blancpain GT Sports Club that goes from Misano to Brands Hatch in the start of May, then to Paul Ricard in June, then to Spa at the end of July, all concluding in Barcelona in October. And that is the calendar for the GT Sports Club, as they all pull away now and make their way around this 4.2 kilometre circuit to try and get some heat into their tyres, some heat into their brakes. And well, it's going to be interesting to see how this race progresses, considering yesterday everybody was on a wet tyres on a drying circuit. Now it is absolutely bone dry. Everybody out there on slicks, ready to get the racing underway. Pole position then for Nicolas Mislan, the 2009 Ferrari Challenge Europe champion. Only 33 years old, Mislan, one of the younger drivers in the field, but still bronze ranked. See Wim de Punder there pulling a little bit wider than you may have expected. But here's a look at the grid then, and it is Nicolas Mislan who will be starting on pole position. Pier Giuseppe Perezzini starting in second spot on the grid. Anthony Pons will be third, with Mario Cordoni alongside him on that second row. Jean-Michel Bart and Pierre Hergy on row number 3. Watch out for Nicolas Van Dierendonck, who struggled a little bit in the wet conditions. Claude-Yves Gauzelin started 15th and ended up 11th. Can he continue that climb through the order today? Of course, this is also the championship order at the moment. Mislan with 8 points after winning the qualifying race. Perezzini second with 6, and then 4, 3, 2, 1 for the remainder of the top 6. So there are 25 championship points for winning this race here today, and that will be an incentive to all of these drivers. Points going down to the bottom of the top 10. Michael Luzic struggled a little yesterday, down in 23rd place. Expect him to make progress. The same can be said of Patrick Van Klabaker, actually, in the 488 Ferrari. He didn't get any time in qualifying, so had to start at the back of the grid. Managed to climb his way up the order to finish in 19th, but I'm expecting him to climb a little bit more here today. And also keep an eye out there for Wong Chong Yao Runmei, or Vincent as he is known, because he is going to want to make progress too. So around they come towards the final corner. They've caught up to the back of the leading car that will pull into the pits. We'll come around the final corner, and when the lights go green, the racing will be underway. The first main race of the Blancpain GT Sports Club season gets underway when the lights go green. On pole position, it is Nicolas Mislan. Alongside him is Pier Giuseppe Perezzini as the race gets underway. And on the left-hand side is Mislan, holding the inside line and holding on to the lead of the race. Mario Cordoni going very deep in the white, blue and yellow Ferrari, trying to get around the outside. A little bit of a lock-up in the middle there, and that means that Mislan has managed to pull a bit of a gap. Attack here from Anthony Pons, but he is losing out to Pierre Hergy, who's alongside him. But in the lead of the race is the battle for second. Cordoni looking up the inside, not quite close enough. Hergy now is up into 4th position after starting in 6th place. So a very good start from that white BMW Z4, although he's going to go side by side here with the ACA Mercedes. But it is Maurice Ritchie who is still on the inside line as the two of them duke it out. Are we going to see the move for second place? Yes, we are. Up the inside comes Mario Cordoni. He's through into second position, the man who won both races here last year. We got a few Corvette running in a little bit deep. Still, the BMW and the Mercedes are absolutely side by side, but finally it's the Mercedes that gets the advantage then. So it's Nicolas Mislan who leads the way. Cordoni is in second, Perezzini is in third. In 4th position is that Mercedes of Maurice Ritchie, and then it's Hergy, and then it's Anthony Pons, but Pons is looking pretty racy as they come down the back stretch. Jean-Michel Bart has made a poor start. He began in 5th place, now he's down in 7th, and into the gravel chap is Alexis de Bernardi. This is his first step out of the Ferrari Challenge, and it's his first trip into the gravel trap. Here's a look at the start replay. Everybody, Jean-Michel Bart had already dropped back by then. As everybody jostled for position. Oh, that's where, okay. So de Bernardi just running wide on the way through turn 2 and ends up in the gravel, and the safety car has been deployed as a result. So that'll squeeze the pack up, although it just got very, very busy as they came out onto that straight behind the safety car. I think some of the drivers perhaps not spotting that the safety car had been deployed, and as a result it got very busy. I don't think we had any contact in there. But it's Mislan who leads, Cordoni second, Penazzini third, Ricci fourth, Hershey fifth, Pons sixth, Bart seventh. In eighth place is Christian Hook. Ninth is Nicholas van Dierendonk, and 10th place is Steve Earle. So that car is well embedded in the gravel trap, so we could have a lap or two behind the safety car here. But that's bad news for Nicolas Mislan, because he got a very good start, and as everyone battled behind him, he managed to make a bit of a breakaway. But that safety car means that that is absolutely gone now, that advantage. So 37 minutes to go of this 40-minute race. A frantic start, wasn't it? Some good racing. And Cordoni, you could see, was not in the mood to hang around. He and Mislan were separated by just 100th of a second in free practice 2. Admittedly, Mislan did a better job in qualifying, about half a second quicker. The start is under investigation by the stewards here. So we'll keep an eye out on how that one progresses. As they make their way now down the back straight. Trying to weave around to get some temperature into the tyres. Safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap, so it looks as though they're pretty happy with what they've done to that car. That, to be fair, they've moved it far enough off the racing line that it's not too much of a drama. So now it's Nicolas Mislan who controls the pace. Yesterday he went very early when the safety car came in at the start of the race. We'll see whether he does the same here. There he goes, Nicolas Mislan floors the throttle. Cordoni has stayed pretty much with him though. Good work from Mario Cordoni to keep up with Nicolas Mislan as the racing gets back underway. Green flags here at Misano in the first main race of the Blancpain GT Sports Club. Just half a second between Mislan and Cordoni as they come into turn 1. Where can Cordoni try and find a way past the most winning driver in this Blancpain GT Sports Club? Took 4 victories last year. Didn't take the championship title. That went the way of Max Bianchi. But look how close he is as they come into that left-hander. Down at turn number 8. Further back, we've got Sunan having to go a little bit defensive from the Audi behind, but now we're going to get nose to tail for the lead here. Nicolas Mislan can see Cordoni in his mirrors as they come into the right-hand kink of turn 12 and then start to get on the brakes. Where can Cordoni try and find a way past? He was 0.4 of a second quicker in that middle sector than Nicolas Mislan, the race leader. They're very quickly dropping Pierre Giuseppe Perezzini for 3rd place, but he's not too far away from Maurice Ricci, and indeed Pierre Hershey's under a lot of pressure as well from Anthony Pons behind him. And that is Pons having a little look up the inside, not close enough. Now Jean-Michel Bart's losing out to Christian Hook. Hook looking up the inside in the black 458. Not quite close enough to get past Jean-Michel Bart, who's holding on to that 7th position. Nicholas van Dierendonk in the white Corvette has joined the party as well. He tries to look to the outside. Then behind him, we've got the Steve Earle Martin Lanting battle. In the 111 and the 48 cars respectively, they're battling for 2nd place in the Iron Cup, which is for drivers over the age of 60. Jean-Michel Bart positioning the car neatly on the run down to turn 8. little wide on the exit, but there's so many lines you can take around there. As they come through the quick right-hand flick, getting on the brakes for turn 10. This is a great little battle as well. Earl, Lanting, Brunstedt is up behind, and then it's side by side further back, and that is Patrick van Klabacker going absolutely side by side with Louis-Philippe Sunen. Van Klabacker on the inside as they come into that kink, and he's got through, so good work from Patrick van Klabacker. Goes past the Audi, but this is still Martin Lanting trying to get past. Meanwhile, Jean-Michel Bart is still holding up in front of Hook as they come into the final corner. 0.6 of a second between the race leaders, so that battle still evolving, not absolutely flat out yet, with 32 minutes to go here in the Blancpain GT Sports Club main race. 25 points up for grabs for the winner. Look how much Van Dierendonck is using the curbs there in that 63 Sellerslach Porsche Corvette. .31 minutes to go. And now the pressure is really on Giuseppe Perezzini coming down into the hairpin. Will he look to the inside? Yes, he will. Late on the brakes. Is it too late? Oh, there's a bit of touch between them. But the move is made by Maurice Ritchie, and the Frenchman is up into third spot now. Set the fastest first sector of anyone on that last tour. Still Jean-Michel Bart is holding on despite that attack from Christian Hook. Fights everywhere. Is it all over though between the Mercedes and the Ferrari in that third place battle? Doesn't look like it, does it? We've got drive-through penalties though for Maurice Ritchie and the 458 car of Christian Hook for jumping the start. So that is not good news for them at all, and a real shame, because that's going to rob us of our third place battle. Although, well, I don't think it will actually, because this Mercedes then has the drive-through penalty, but we've got two Ferraris fighting it out behind anyway. The gap for the lead was closer than it has been throughout the entire race so far, less than half a second. But those drive-through penalties explain why Jean-Michel Bart got such a poor start. So this is now Van Dierendonck right up behind Jean-Michel Bart. The Corvette taking a wide line. Still, this battle rages now between Perezzini and Anthony Pons. Perezzini in the all-red car in front, racing for AF Corsa. Anthony Pons for the ACA Ferrari team. And he's got a very good drive out of that corner onto the back straight. They're going to be nose to tail. That Mercedes has a drive-through penalty, so this is effectively the battle for third place. As they swing now into the right-hander. The race leaders are absolutely nose to tail as well. Fantastic battles wherever you look. In fact, the race leaders are really nose to tail. Nicolas Mislan is leading, but he's under massive pressure from Mario Cordoni. Through the final corner. And out onto the start-finish straight again to complete the 6th lap of racing here in Misano. Cordoni not close enough. There is the drive-through penalty then being served. A real shame for Maurice Ritchie, because he had done such a good job. It also looks as though we've got Wong Chong Yao Runmei in trouble as well. He's going very slowly out there on the circuit, so he might have some damage perhaps after his accident yesterday. There's the look from Mario Cordoni up the inside into the hairpin, but he's not quite close enough. Mislan feels confident. A warning flag going out as well to Martin Lanting for not respecting the track limits. These guys are all really pushing out there. as our race leader Nicolas Mislan comes down the back straight through the right kink at turn 11. Then on the brakes into 12, and he has got Mario Cordoni darting around behind him. Mislan set the fastest lap of the race on lap 4, but since then, Cordoni has been reeling him in. Not even at the halfway mark yet. The fans are enjoying it, no doubt, because it is nose to tail for the lead of this race. Then this is the battle for third. Still Perezzini ahead of Pons, and in fact, that battle has calmed down just slightly, hasn't it? Pierre Hershey running all alone in 5th place, then and through is Van Dierendonck. He's got past Jean-Michel Bart then on that last lap. Here's how he did it. Side by side, down the back straight, coming towards, well, he's glided past him. Must have got a really good run out of turn 10. Oh, and in the barrier, that's Pierre Fiellegioni. Oh, and there's the move from Cordoni up the inside, and he's into the lead of the race, but he can't get it stopped, and they go side by side out of the corner. Cordoni on the left, Mislan on the right. The battle for the lead of the Blancpain GT Sports Club. And Cordoni has it covered and is into the lead of the race now. The black lines of rubber laid down by Mislan as he tries to get a good drive out. But Mario Cordoni, the Italian who won here last year, is now back in the lead of the race. And here's the look at the move again. Very, oh goodness me. Some robust driving between the pair of them. Fantastic action. As they then went side by side, but now it's Cordoni's time to look in the mirror, because Mislan is sticking with him. The gap was 0.3 of a second to the advantage of Mislan. Now it's 0.4 of a second to the advantage of Cordoni. Still in 3rd place is Pier Giuseppe Perezzini. He is leading the Iron Cup as well, with Anthony Pons behind. The next man to attack Jean-Michel Bart is going to be Martin Lanting in that red Ferrari. He's 2nd in the Iron Cup class at the moment. Jean-Michel Bart. Oh, and we've got a car off, and that's Pons. Pons is in the gravel trap on the exit of turn number 6. What a disaster. He was looking like taking 3rd place away, but now Anthony Pons, the Frenchman, former V2V champion, is beached in the gravel trap as our race leaders continue their fight. Cordoni leads it. Mislan 2nd, and I wonder if this will be a safety car, you know. That car is beached in the gravel right on the exit of turn 6. It's a pretty dangerous spot. As we see the 98 car of Louis-Philippe Sunen. He's got past Coach McKenzie here, somewhere on this lap. So Coach McKenzie there in the 17 green Lamborghini, and the safety car is deployed then. Safety car deployed to recover Anthony Pons' car. And unsurprisingly, that is, well, it's kind of medium news for Cordoni, the race leader, isn't it? He only had half a second advantage anyway, but it will give him some respite. Time to gather his thoughts again. There we can see the cars just shuffling into their positions. So Cordoni leads, Mislan 2nd, Perezzini 3rd, Hershey 4th. Van Dierendonck is up into 5th now, Jean-Michel Bart 6th, Martin Lanting 7th, Gosselin 8th, Earl 9th, Brunstedt 10th, then it's Coach McKenzie in 11th, Casades 12th, Sunen 13th, Buffon is 14th, Yoshiki Omura is 15th. 16th is Vilde Pundert, De Pundert, I should say. Patrick Van Klabaker is 17th. 18th is Ulrich. 19th is Ricci, and 20th is the 88 car of Leon Price. As the cars are now behind the safety car. As the tow rope's broken. That's not gone well, has it? As they try to drag Pierre Feligioni's car out, and this is turn 2. He went very deep into the gravel there before clouting the tyre barriers. I think the safety car was more for the car at turn 6, but this is down at this is turn 10, isn't it? Sorry, 12 and 13. So now the marshals have decided to just push the car out of the way. So that means we will have to probably have one more lap under the safety car, but hopefully then we will get back racing. Well, maybe not, because that 72 car from Pons is absolutely beached in the gravel trap still. So they've got to give that a tow. Second safety car, here we go. The tractor doing its job. And pulling Pons out of the race. Out of the gravel, I should say. Whether he can rejoin the race or not, we'll have to wait and see. I think he will be able to rejoin the race. Certainly in the Blancpain GT Series, you can rejoin the race once you've been towed out of trouble, and it looks as though that's what Anthony Pons is doing. Admittedly now he's going to be some 2 laps down. He immediately goes over and goes off the racing line, so sensible stuff from Pons, as he tries to shake the gravel out of the car, and he's got plenty in there, hasn't he? But yeah, good work from Pons. Staying off the racing line, he'll get on the brakes and the gravel will shoot out of it. Again, hugs the inside line so as not to put too much gravel on the racing line. So Anthony Pons is back going again, and that means hopefully we can have the safety car in maybe at the end of this lap. Not quite sure where the safety car is on track. Oh, here it comes, yeah, down into turn 8. So hopefully we can have the lights up on the safety car and we can go racing again, as we are at the half race distance. Well, it depends what happens with Pierre Feligioni's car, doesn't it, I suppose? It's in the middle of the track, so hopefully that's all good. But there's our race leader. Safety car will be coming in this lap. And Mario Cordoni, can he be as wise on the restart as Nicolas Mislan was before? When will he choose to go? That's going to be the question. The safety car turns off its lights and heads off back to the pit lane. Safety car in this lap. So where is Mario Cordoni? Has he already gone for it? No, he hasn't. He's waiting, and he's got Mislan and Perezzini right up behind him. When is he going to floor the throttle? Safety car in. But where? There he goes. Cordoni's gone for it, and Mislan has stayed pretty much with him. The 2 race leaders are going to be nose to tail as they come across the line with 19 minutes to go in the GT Sports Club race. In fact, they're going to be absolutely together. Coming down towards turn 1, Cordoni's going to have to defend here. Mislan looks to the inside line, late on the brakes, not close enough. There were just 0.2 of a second between them as they crossed the line. As Mario Cordoni, the race leader, has to try and defend from Mislan behind. Then we've got Jean-Michel Bart under pressure from Martin Lanting. Side by side here as Sonen is doing battle. Almost hit by Steve Earle, but that's... sorry, it's Brunstedt, my apologies, going past Steve Earle for 9th position. Here come first and second down to the hairpin. No moves just yet, although it's very, very deep in. It's so fascinating to see the different lines down there that the different drivers take. Now Mislan's going to try and get a best drive out of here using all the road on the exit. Little nose towards the inside line as they flash through turn 11. Is there going to be an opportunity for Nicolas Mislan to get past Mario Cordoni, the race leader? Look how close he is coming towards the final corner. The gap was just over 0.2 of a second at the end of the last lap as they come across the line now, and looking to the inside there is Mislan. He's not close enough, but it's still just over 0.2 of a second. Still Mislan just darting around. Is it going to be the opportunity for him down into turn number 8? He gets a good run out of 6. Now down the middle straight here at Misano. Still not quite close enough. Is he going to need a mistake from Cordoni in order to make the move? Third is still Perezzini leading the Iron Cup class. Fourth is still Pierre Hershey. Van Dierendonck is in 5th place. 6th is Martin Lanting, Jean-Michel Bart 7th, Gosselin 8th, Brunstedt 9th, Steve Earle 10th. So that was Brunstedt taking 3rd place in the Iron Cup, away from Steve Earle in their battle a couple of moments ago. There's Brunstedt, there's Steve Earle. Behind is Cassidy. And now it's all kicking off. This is Buffon in the Mercedes SLS on the outside of Patrick Van Klabbeke. What a battle they're having. Buffon is the man defending Van Klabbeke in that 488 Ferrari. In both the make and the number. The gap at the lead has gone up to 0.6 of a second. Jean-Paul Buffon, the 2012 French GT Cup champion in that number 9 Mercedes SLS, is holding on at the moment anyway to this 13th position. But what a great fight we've got going on behind. That's Soonen there in the first of the Audis, and he's been caught now by Maurice Ritchie, who has served his drive-through penalty. That safety car really helped him. Right behind in that white Ferrari is Yoshiki Omura. This is a replay of Patrick Van Klabbeke diving up the inside of, oh goodness me, of Buffon. Buffon saw him eventually at the last minute. So that means Van Klabbeke is up into 12th position. But then he got back, I see. So that's what we were seeing. We were seeing the Mercedes get back past Van Klabbeke back down here. And here's the look from Ritchie up the inside. He goes past Louis-Philippe Soonen. So that is now 14th place for Maurice Ritchie. And side by side here, and that through into 4th place goes Van Dierendonck. Closed in on Pierre Hershey in the white BMW Z4, and now the Corvette from Celislach Racing is up into 4th spot, but not for much longer maybe, because he's trying to look back up the inside is Hershey, but he himself is under pressure from Martin Lanting in that 48 AF Corsa Ferrari. Down towards the final corner they come. Martin Lanting, the Monegasque racer. The gap at the lead has gone up to 0.7 of a second now. So this is the closest battle on the circuit for 4th, 5th and 6th. Oh, and out of the race is Coach McCancy. Real shame for the Harry Protchik Racing entered car. So this is Van Dierendonck, Hershey and Lanting doing battle. Goodness me, it's all kicking off here. That's Buffon losing out to the recovering Maurice Ritchie. As Lanting continues to push. We go back to this battle with Soonen up in front of Yoshiki Omura. There's a late look up the inside from Christian Hook. He too recovering from having served a drive-through penalty for jumping the start. He's down in 19th place at the moment in that 458 Black Pearl Racing Ferrari. Still the race leaders right together. Mario Cordoni in the 49 car is the man leading it, but he's been edging away from Nicola Misland over the last couple of laps. Set the fastest lap of the race on lap 13, and that is the one that gave him about a 0.3 of a second advantage, but it looks as though Misland has hauled that back in. Cordoni through the final corner and out onto the start-finish straight again with Misland right behind him. It was 0.7 of a second. The gap has come down to 6.5 of a second. 12.5 minutes to go in the first Blancpain GT Sports Club race of the season. And Hershey now is behind Lanting. So Martin Lanting has found a way past Pierre Hershey, who's dropping back through the order at the moment. The 48 car of Lanting is through. He's still second in the Iron Cup class. Third is Jan Brunstedt, down in 9th position at the moment. There he is, in that 98 Audi, run by JB Motorsports, Jan Brunstedt Motorsports. What can Nicola Misland do? Is there any chance of him getting past? Mario Cordoni knows how to win here. Did it twice last year. There in third place is Pier Giuseppe Perezzini, who's also leading the Iron Cup. Jean-Michel Bart, 7th. Then it's Claude-Yves Gosselin is up into 8th place then, but he's got Brunstedt right behind him, so that's going to be the next battle to watch. Oh, late move there from Steve Earle. It's not quite close enough. So we've got just under 11 minutes to go as the cars cross the line. Jean-Michel Bart has been caught by Gosselin. We've got 3 Audis in a queue here, and that's Jan Brunstedt, the man looking most racy, to try and get past Gosselin in front, but Steve Earle wants to get involved in the party as well. Through the left-hander of turn 6. Out onto the back stretch, the little left-hand kink at 7 before this hairpin corner at 8. Again, Steve Earle nosing to the inside, but he's not going to be close enough. Looks one way, looks the other way. Is that going to be the opportunity into 13? No, it's not. There's a late move up the inside as the 39 car of Vilde Pundert tries to make his way up the order. And in fact, is he going to get past the Ferrari? No, not quite. It's Ulrich up in front of him in that 51A of Corsa. As they hurtle down the back stretch. And Vilde Pundert still trying to make her way past. Last year was his return to racing after some 4 years away, after he'd previously raced in the Formula Gloria Championship in the Netherlands and the Dutch Clio Cup. Still defensive work from the former Formula 3000 racer Claude-Yves Gosselin at the moment. In fact, there's defensive work everywhere on the circuit, really, isn't there, as Maurice Ritchie now is trying to make a move on the 488 car of Patrick van Klabaker. Their battle over 11th place. Now Gosselin is going to have to keep an eye on his mirrors. Here comes the move up the inside from Brunstedt. He goes in. Can he get it stopped? No, he's gone straight on. Runs very wide, still keeps the momentum though. Will he still have the inside line for the next sequence of right-handers? I think he might do. No, not quite. Gosselin just gets back in there, and Steve Earle's up the inside. Steve Earle's up the inside. This is for third place in class, the final podium position on the Iron Cup. And Steve Earle is through. Good opportunistic driving from the American. Former North American Ferrari Challenge champion, Steve Earle. The gap at the front is up to 1.7 seconds now, meanwhile. So Cordoni, oh, there's a lunge from Earle, and he's going to get past Gosselin. What a great couple of corners from Steve Earle. He now finds himself up into 8th place. Wide goes Brunstedt as he goes through as well. But decisive racing from Earle. And off has gone Casady in the Attempto Racing Lamborghini. He's going to recover. Steve Earle then up into 8th place and up into 3rd place in the Iron Cup standings. Here now is, and Lanting is through past Van Dierendonck. So Martin Lanting now is up into 4th position, past Nicolas Van Dierendonck. What a great race this is. Still got 7 minutes left of it. There you can see Lanting has been consistently quicker than Van Dierendonck. As they head out towards turn 11. Here's a look at it. And he gets through past Van Dierendonck, the Belgian racer. Up the inside goes Lanting. And he is into 4th position now. Still Vilde Pundert is trying to make some moves on the Black Pearl Ferrari in front of him, of Christian Hook. In fact, I think Hook might have got past the Pundert. Hook is making his way back through the order. Now Steve Earle is in clear air. He has set his personal bests in the first and the second sector, so he's racing well. The Pundert is trying to attack Hook. Their battle over 17th place. I think we're going to have a lot of happy drivers after this race. Really entertaining stuff. Probably more fun to drive in than it is to watch. Down the start-finish straight. This is Louis-Philippe Sonnen under pressure as well from Yoshiki Omura. Oh, and there's the little switchback from De Pundert. He's not quite close enough. Five minutes to go. There's Gosselin losing out now to Maurice Ritchie on his comeback drive. That puts Ritchie into the top 10, so that is him lined up for 1 championship point. Still, De Pundert is attacking Christian Hook. Every place he can try and find an advantage. Lights flashing. De Pundert has dropped back a little bit now, which gives the 458 car of Hook a little bit of an opportunity to try and look ahead of him for a moment, as Buffon and Ulrich continue to do battle over 13th place. Less than 4 minutes to go. Gap at the front remains at 1.7 seconds. And there's a late move up the inside from Ulrich. Can he get that stopped? Yes, he can. What a great move. The Swiss racer, Christoph Ulrich, lunging up the inside. And he makes up a place. And that is now 13th position for him. Still Christian Hook contemplating the overtake, but not quite close enough to do it. He wants that 16th position away from Yoshiki Omura. but Amora knows these tracks well. He raced in Italian Formula 2 last year, second in Formula 2000 Italy back in 2011, but now the lunge comes into the hairpin. Amora takes the speed out wide, but there's the move done for Christian Hook. In his first race of the day, he's racing in the Blancpain Sprint Cup later on as well. And all this means De Pundert is back in with an attack, this time on Yoshiki Amora. In that 39 Mercedes. To go, so we are on what I think will be the penultimate. It's a bit tight actually, isn't it? We might get 2 more laps out of this one, 3 more laps, sorry, out of this one. As Louis-Philippe Sonnen is having to defend, and there De Pundert goes through. Willem De Pundert goes up into 17th spot now, past Yoshiki Amora. Left on the clock, so there'll be 2 more laps at the conclusion of this one, and there's the look up the inside from Christian Hook. Hook goes through, no he doesn't. Finally, Hook does make it past then. Louis-Philippe Sonnen did his best to try and hang on, but now Hook goes well. Sonnen's still in the fight now. This is the penultimate lap they're on, so the race leaders are on their final tour, They just got over the line in time to make this the final lap. Cordoni and Mislan separated by 2.5 seconds. And there is our race leader, Mario Cordoni. There is Nicola Mislan in second place. The rest of the top 5 positions are reasonably settled. Here's an attack around the outside from Patrick Van Klabaker at turn 1. Great move. Gosselin shuffled back down into 12th position. Van Klabaker up into 11th. And he started in 19th. So good work from Patrick Van Klabaker. But here, goodness me! Oh no, it's okay. I thought that was the leader's nose to tail, but it's Mario Cordoni who still has the comfortable advantage as he comes into the final corner. 2 wins here last year, and it's now 3 out of 4 in the GT Sports Club here in Misano for Cordoni. He wins the race and takes the lead of the championship at the end of the first round. Second across the line is Nicola Mislan. Third, and winning the Iron Cup, is Pier Giuseppe Perezzini. Fourth, here comes Martin Lanting. There's Perezzini across the line now. Martin Lanting is coming across the line in 4th place. Then the Corvette of Nicolas van Dierendonck. A good drive from the Sellerslack Corvette driver. 5th is going to be Pierre Hershey. 6th for Jean-Michel Bart. 7th place for Jean-Michel Bart. It's 8th place for Steve Earle across the line, just in front of Maurice Ritchie. And still, pressure for Gosselin. He's got back past Van Klabaker as they come towards the final corner. Gosselin goes defensive. I know it's Ulrich actually who's caught up to the back of him, and he goes wide and he bounces over the grass, and he's going to be absolutely side by side across the line. Who's going to get the 12th position? It is Gosselin by 3,000ths of a second. A real photo finish there, but Gosselin holds on to 12th place. Louis-Philippe Sonnen holds off Vil de Pundert for 16th place. And, well, what a great race that was. That's our race winner, Mario Cordoni. He moves now to the lead of the championship. Great stuff from Mario Cordoni, winner of the main race in the Blancpain GT Sports Club. Here's a look at the results after the first main race of the season. Mario Cordoni the victor, 3.8 seconds clear of Nicola Mislan. Pier Giuseppe Perezzini finishing in third place ahead of Martin Lanting in fourth. Perezzini also winning the Iron Cup, with Lanting second in that class, Steve Earle third in that particular class. Completing the top 10 was Jan Brunstedt. Maurice Ritchie managed to recover as high as 9th position, which is good news for him after having to serve a drive-through penalty. Claude-Yves Gosselin completing the top 12. And then we've got the likes of Jean-Paul Buffin, who was running as high as 9th at one point, but ended up slipping down to 14th place. Christian Hook had an entertaining race. Yoshiki Amora finishing down the order, and unfortunately we lost Alexis de Bernardi in the opening stages. So here is Mario Cordoni, the victor. Martin Lanting actually did a very good job. He started 16th on the grid and finished in 4th position. That's very impressive. And finished second in his class as well. Celebrations all around. Understandably so for Martin Lanting. And all the hugs and celebrations as they get ready now to go up to the podium for the first main race of the season. Pier Giuseppe Perezzini there, just relaxing after that intense race. A little high five with Mario. And the AF Corsa guys coming over to congratulate him as well. A good race from Perezzini, 15 seconds off the leaders in front, but he's in the Iron Cup class. There you can see Cordoni and Martin Lanting at the back there as well, as they make their way up towards the podium. So let's have a look back at the highlights of the first main race for the GT Sports Club. Straight in the gravel, unfortunately, at the start of the race, but everybody else managed to continue. There was some side-by-side action here and there, but ultimately the safety car was deployed to recover that car of Alexis de Bernardi. Maurice Ritchie was on a charge in the early stages, and then that was one of the moves for the lead of the race. Mario Cordoni up behind Nicola Mislan, desperate to try and get past. A trip to the gravel trap for Pierre Feligioni. That was the end of his race. But again, this time, Cordoni lunged up the inside at the hairpin. He made it stick this time through, and then was never challenged again. There was gravel for Anthony Pons after he had a trip through the gravel trap. That brought out another safety car. Fantastic racing between Patrick van Klabbeke and Jean-Paul Buffin. Fantastic racing actually throughout the order. Really entertaining stuff as Claude-Yves Gosselin started to drop back down the order. Christian Hook was on a charge up the order, having had to serve a drive-through penalty early on in the race for jumping the start, and he was going past cars left, right and centre. Louis-Philippe Sunen in the 25 Audi was the next man to suffer. Then Patrick van Klabbeke went around the outside of Claude-Yves Gosselin. A really strong performance from him. But the race victory for Mario Cordoni. Second across the line was the pole sitter Nicola Mislan, and winning the Iron Cup was Pier Giuseppe Perezzini, who finished third. And we had an absolutely side-by-side finish as Claude-Yves Gosselin finished just 0.03 of a second ahead in 12th place. Here's a look at how the championship stands then. Cordoni leads it, but only 2 points clear of Nicola Mislan after the first round. Pier Giuseppe Perezzini is in third. Martin Lanting is in fourth position. Nicholas van Dierendonk completing the top 5 on 10 points, but very, very tight at the top of the championship. Jan Brunstedt completing the men who have scored points so far this season. Martin Lanting there in fourth position, a good performance from him because he is in the Iron Cup and started this race down in 16th place on the grid, so he's performed very, very well to climb that high up the order. So just waiting then for the podium presentations to begin. As the drivers will soon head out onto the podium with the overall podium presentations and then the Iron Cup presentations subsequently. Once all the drivers are in position, we will be cracking on, no doubt about that. Ahead of the Blancpain GT Series main race that is coming up later on in the Sprint Cup. Make sure you join us for that. A fantastic night race last night, and in, well, 2 hours time our coverage will be starting. We'll be down on the grid talking to the drivers ahead of the 1 hour Sprint Cup event. As the Blancpain GT Sports Club celebrates its first main race of the season. So up into third place goes Pier Giuseppe Perezzini, the Italian AF Corsa driver. Second place for Nicola Mislan. Victory yesterday, but he couldn't hold off the charge today of the race winner, Mario Cordoni. The Italian wins for AF Corsa. Great drive from Cordoni, and he receives the Italian national anthem. So the Italian national anthem for Mario Cordoni, race winner and championship leader after a fantastic battle. Mr. Stefano Giannini, the mayor of Misano Adriatico, is handing out the trophies on the podium. And has a little bit of a joke with Mario Cordoni, who holds his trophy aloft. Race winner, championship leader after the first round of the season. As they pose for photographs. There's your top three. Cordoni, Mislan and Perezzini on the podium in Misano. And they are handed their champagne, but they're not too keen to get it sprayed. So now we'll, oh no, Mario's going to go for it. There we go, good stuff. Mario and Pier Giuseppe Perezzini happy to have a bit of fun up there. As Martin Lanting gets some as well. So that concludes the Blancpain GT Sports Club main race. A fantastic victory for Mario Cordoni. He takes victory here in Misano. Make sure you join us for the next round of the championship, which is going to be in Brands Hatch at the beginning of May. Mario Cordoni wins in Misano, leads the championship after the first round of the Blancpain GT Sports Club.